Okay, we're gonna go with that. Tim Whitmarsh, Battling the Gods. This book clocks in about 10 hours. For me, I got on Audible, and the subject matter is non-belief in the classical world. We all know that the West is becoming more secular overall. I mean, the Four Horsemen, Sam Harris, Dennett, Dawkins, and Christopher Hitchens, the late Christopher Hitchens. So the West is becoming more secular. But the most liable against new atheism is that it's a new phenomenon. It's a modernity. It's brand new. It doesn't have roots. But the book Tim Whitmarsh, Battling the Gods, kind of brings non-belief into the realm of the classical world. He tries to examine over about a period of 1,000 years roughly about non-belief, how the society viewed it, some famous non-believers, or what we can deduce would be their non-belief, and then other ideas. But when we get back to the key idea about deduce. Again, we know that most classical heritage in literature was lost just because of the ravages of time, and then atheism, again, as an idea, wouldn't be something that someone wants to transmit, much less a medieval scribe, because we know that our classical heritage did come from medieval scribes, because it, write it down, no printing press, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you're familiar if you're reading this kind of book. So, again, so we see atheism. So the key idea here is it's a very rough outline within 10 hours. Again, it's in no way a comprehensive history of the classical world or even non-belief in the classical world. I feel like this author has done a great job in sketching out the ideas of non-belief in a few key areas. First would be the pre-Socratics, again, talking about their ideas and how some of them did interact with the realm of non-belief and some famous non-believers, even in the pre-Socratics. Then he moved later into Socrates and Plato's revision of Socrates in some areas, moving away from the label of being an atheist. Again, some ideas and what he deduced from that. And then finally, where I think the book gets most interesting was the part about Epicurus near the latter half of the book. Again, he has a great ideas about that, talks about how Epicurus really interacted with the realm of non-belief. This book is a great overall sketch, but again, my one caveat, it is in no way comprehensive, and I don't think the author ever meant it to be comprehensive. So it's not even really anything on the book whatsoever. But I find this book fascinating in a few ways, and I think you will too. One, it does deal with Roman religion, and it really helps solidify the idea of the difference between a modern religion and a classical religion, how they had different expectations for the gods, how they had different ideas of what rituals and rites would be, how, even our modern view of religion is just weird in some ways if you talk to a classical person back then in like 5th century Athens or something. And so it's a very fascinating read. If you're not in it for the atheistic or secular ideas about it, definitely pick it up if you just want to learn more about classical world and classical belief in the classical world, what their view on the gods were. It's a very fascinating book, and near the last 30 minutes, it talks about how Christianity really revolutionized the sense, moving from a Roman Empire in that point. So again, highly recommend this book. It's only 10 hours. It will not take up all of your weekend. So yeah, go get it. Battling the Gods by Tim Whitmarsh. Kevin out. Bye.